Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Bobby. This is going to be a little bit of a different video here. So I'm going to try to keep on topic just because maybe a lot of people who find this video are specifically searching for the issue that I'm going to be talking about, which is bats in the attic. So, and let me just tell you something that I found to be super funny. Hold on. The reason why I'm perspiring here is because, so I got off of work early and I had it in my head, okay, I'm gonna film some videos, right? And I had this bat video in my head that I've been meaning to tell you guys about. So I was gonna set up outside just because it's hot, but according to the weather people, today is supposed to be like the best day. It's supposed to get to like 108 and crazy temperatures. So I'm like, okay, let me sit outside, do a couple of videos, bat video first. And Sheldon keeps on barking. I look, the bat guy's here. Isn't that weird? Right when I was getting ready to do the video, the bat dude is outside. So, and we'll get to all that. All right. So here's my story, and the reason why I want to share my story is because when this first happened to me, I searched and searched and searched YouTube. I watched near about every single video, and to be honest, there weren't a lot out there. So hopefully, even if this helps one person, you know, that would be delightful. All right, so we live in, you know, western-ish North Carolina, near Charlotte. We just moved here. So, well, we moved here now. It will be 2 years coming up in November. So November of this year will be 2 years. So when we first moved here, upon first getting here, me and my husband, we noticed that in the bathroom, there were some little bugs in the bathroom, in the sink, in the bathtub. Really weird. Some in the toilet. They were all very slow moving, not running, not racing, near dead, right? We'd never seen a bug that looked like this before. Never. So we're like, uh-oh, you know, right away, because I don't do bugs at all. I was happy that it wasn't a roach, I'm not gonna lie. Because if it would have been a roach, I would have been out, hotel room, city. But to us, it looked like ticks. And you know, like we're in the country. We do have a dog, Mr. Sheldon, if you watch the videos, a chihuahua. So we're concerned about Sheldon. Like, wow, is this a tick? Like, what could it be? We take pictures on our phone. Send it over to the property manager. Property manager, very responsive, says, oh, it could be this, it could be that. I don't know what they said. It could be, I don't know, something. Nothing of what it's gonna be. But it could be this, it could be that. Okay, cool. Well, we have a dog here, and, you know, we don't want these tick things to be in the house, so, you know, whatever. Now, in the meantime, of course, I'm Googling, right? So I start researching the bugs, and all I pull up online is bed bug. I'm like, wait, what? Bed bug. Dead like a bed bug. So I'm like, okay. Do we have bed bugs? Of course, right? So now we're on high alert. And they send over an exterminator. Couple days later, whatever the case is, very soon, couple days. Now, we're not even unpacking a lot of things in our room because we're on high alert now, because we're like, oh my goodness, we moved into a house, it has bed bugs. Now what are we gonna do? So the exterminator comes, and the exterminator, without seeing the pictures and stuff, is like, oh yeah, it's probably some XYZ beetle that comes into the house at this time of year, yada, yada, yada. Like, okay, but you know, this is what I'm finding online, and it looks like it could be like a bed bug. So I show him the picture, and then he's like, oh, yeah, those are bed bugs. Perfect. Okay, cool. So he puts a encasement on our mattress, even though we've never saw it. And thank you, Jesus, it had never came into the. We've never saw them in the bedroom, in the bed. We've never got bit, nothing. But they're telling us, you know, it's bed bugs. So they put the encasement on the mattress, spray the entire house. I had to leave. My husband was working. I had to leave the house that day. And the whole thing, take Sheldon out, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, he said, well, we're going to have to come back they came back regularly, like every month, I believe, after that, every 3 to 4 weeks, whatever. So every single day we're high alert. We're high alert. We're checking sheets and checking pillows, you know, all the things. Never found any on the bed. So, but we would find, like after they would spray, we would find the occasional one either dead or near dead, always in the same spot, and a few in the other bathroom upstairs as well. The ones that we would find in the other bathroom were primarily just floating in the toilet. Now, the air duct, like the blow fans for the bathroom, are right above each of those toilets, and that's where they would be. Common sense, right? So we're like, oh, they must be coming from the attic. So then that's when I start doing my little research, my little Columbo, and I'm like, all right, so this is weird. They're not in the bed, you know? So then that's why when I start doing a little research and I find out that bat bugs look exactly to the naked eye like bed bugs. Exactly. I think you have to put them under a microscope or something like that. So the next time that the exterminator came, really nice guy, I'm like, hey, and his name was Bobby, which is funny. But anyway, so I'm like, hey, you know, I was doing a little research here, and just from what I'm seeing here, I'm thinking that it's probably a bat bug, right? So, you know, I'm telling him just the characteristics and stuff. I'm like, to me, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't sound like it's a bed bug. So he's a really nice guy. He goes up into the attic. He looks. He's like, oh, we don't see no bats up there, but I'm going to go ahead and send this off to some lab in Raleigh, and we're going to check to see, you know, what it is, because it has to be under the microscope, yada, yada. Okay. A couple days later, get a call. Hey, Bobby, guess what? And I'm like, I already knew, right? It's a bat bug. Okay, cool. So what do we do for the bat bug? Oh, we treat it exactly the same. Exactly the same like a bed bug. You know, the only difference is bat bugs obviously live off bats, to where bed bugs live off human blood. I know way too much about bed bugs now, way too much about bat bugs. I'm in groups on Facebook, just, ugh. Now that I do know about bed bugs though, FYI, I don't know if I'd be staying in a hotel or anything like that, because the stories are a little crazy. But anyway, let me get back. So yes, it's a bat bug. We treat it the same way, yada, yada. All right. Now, obviously, I'm thinking to myself, well, if there's bat bugs, there should be a bat. But being that he went into the attic, he says, no, that's all they were going to do, right? Okay. So, they stopped coming, finally. You know, after, I think he was out here maybe like 4 or 5 times. You know, we weren't seeing any at that point. We're still real diligent. Like we're checking, you know, you never, once you get into that phase where you think that you have something, you know, you just never get out of it. So we still, you know, would always check and look and you know, everything nice and neat and all that. So fast forward some months ahead, we see another one in the bathroom. Message the property managers, hey, you know, this bug is back again. they send out a different company this time. Why? I don't know, because the first guy was super nice, but send out another guy. This guy didn't seem like he really, you know, I'm explaining, you know, this is, you know, a bat bug and this is what it was, you know, addressed as. And he's kind of looking at me like he didn't believe me, you know, like, oh yeah, like I'm listening to her, but I'm not believing her. He's like, well, it looks just like a bed bug. And I'm like, yeah, I know that, but you know, it was sent off to Raleigh, yada yada. He didn't really believe me, whatever. He goes around and sprays and does his thing, whatever he did. And he never came back. So he never came back, and we're just like, you know, whatever. Fast forward to 3 months ago, I think it was. I believe it was. It had to have been May, like going right in the beginning of May. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So we see the bug again. Let him know again. Hey, the bat bugs, and I'm saying bat bugs because we know it's a bat bug. Hey guys, the bat bugs are back, right? Okay, we're going to send somebody back out there. This time it's a different person that they send out. And I'm explaining to him, I'm like, look, you know, it's not a bed bug. You may think it is. It is not. They've never been in the bed. You know, they've always been here, whatever. I'm like, you know, my husband wasn't here. And he's just like, my husband was like, make sure they go into that attic. Like, make sure they go into that attic. So I was like, can you please go up into the attic? And he's like, well, do you have a ladder? My husband left one right there for him. I'm like, yep, we have a ladder. It's sitting right there because there's like the little push spot. So he goes up. The minute that he even puts his head, he's like, you know, oh yeah. I smell, because apparently bats smell like pneumonia. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I could smell it. Oof, da, 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 da. So he goes up into the attic. He stays up there for a good bit. He comes back down and he's just like, yep, you have bats. Like, yeah, like we knew, but we felt so vindicated. We're like, yes, you know, after a whole year, yeah, yes, we do have bats. We've had them since we first moved in, right? So he's just like, and he's not really saying too much. And I'm just like, well, like, what are you gonna do? Oh, well, we're gonna tell the property manager and we're gonna get right back to you and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I guess he was scared to tell me. So then the property manager comes back and via text, he's not calling me, and he's just like, oh, so the thing about it is, in North Carolina, there's a law to where it's pupping season for bats, and we can't remove the bats from, I believe it's May until August 1st. I know August 1st is the cutoff, but I believe it was May 1st or May 31st. It must have been May 1st because the time was already there where they couldn't do anything. And the guy that came to the house was probably like scared to tell me. So I'm like, well, and I mean, yes, the property manager, I mean, I guess they were on it, sending the exterminator and stuff, but they didn't get rid of the problem. Like, had they got, you know, even looked a little deeper into it, they probably would have seen that there were bats, right? So nonetheless, just like, we can't do anything about it, blah, 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 but, you know, we're going to be sending some special dude, which is the dude that's outside right now, wildlife something, to look into it, but, you know, of course, can't do anything till August 1st, whatever. So then the guy comes, and is this guy that's outside right now. And my husband was actually, he happened to be home already. So the guy comes and he's like, I'm going to go up into the attic and look and see what I see and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. So, oh, and the first guy also said that there was bat feces everywhere up in the attic, which is toxic and not good for you. But thankfully, thank you, Jesus, we don't smell anything down here on this level. it hasn't gotten through. So like we don't smell or whatever. We don't hear the bats, thank God, because I would be freaking out. So none of that. The only way that we even knew was from seeing those occasional little bat bugs that look just like bed bugs. So he goes up and he's up there for a while and whatever. And he comes down and he's like, and this is the wildlife guy. And he's like, I've never saw anything, you know, such as this before. And I'm thinking like, what? And he gave the name of the bats, which when I put this video, I should have had him to send me the video of what he saw up there, which maybe not, because I don't know if I want to see it again, but the name of the bats are called Mexican something something, right? So this is a picture of the Mexican bat that I have in the attic. Okay, so he knew him right away. Little black bats, horrifying. And he's like, I never saw, you know, I think he said something like so many or something like that. And he goes, it's so strange because what they're doing is they're in the insulation by the air conditioning unit. He was like, maybe they're trying to like keep cool. Ugh, disgusting. And he shows the video. And my husband's all, you know, he wants to see the video. And I'm like thinking to myself, should I look at the video? I'm like, no, let me look at the video. So you see all this like white insulation, and then you just see the little black bats going in and out, like a lot of them. And then he's like, yeah, but you know, we can't do anything now, but you know, come August 1st, blah, blah, blah. So like, okay, cool. So we're gonna have to like live with these bats, we guess, right? And kind of like the bright side about it is we were planning to look into purchasing a home after this lease, just because we just wanted to like get the feel of where we were and such, you know, before we went to buy. So this way it gives us an out. So our lease isn't up until November, so we can definitely, you can, and I could tell you that much. I'm not an expert, but I did some research. You can break a lease for bats because it's hazardous. It's a biohazard. So there's that. And then also I messaged the property manager because I'm thinking to myself, like, it's been since day one. We've had to take time off work for these exterminators. We've had to, I mean, just live our lives a little bit differently because it is, mind you. So the fans that are in the upstairs bathroom, my husband got big pieces of cardboard and like taped it up around there so that the bugs or whatever will stay up there, and it's worked, thank God. We haven't seen any. So like we can't put the fans on in the bathroom. It's just, you know, like it's a lot. So I reached out and I asked, I'm like, so is the landlord gonna, you know, take off maybe some rent or something like that? Because obviously it's not the best situation. So they came back and they did. I think they took off like $200 a month or something, whatever. So then this is the weird part about it. So then the guy was so adamant, like, we can't do anything until, you know, August 1st because it's the law and all this other kind of stuff. But he's been out here already like 3 times already, not inside, but outside. And he'll just show up, which that's what he did today because Sheldon was barking and I look and I'm like, and he has a ladder on the side of the house. I'm like, I didn't even know you were going to be here. And that's what I told him the last time too. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just checking some things. But the first time that he came, he had set up like, we could see it, like some type of like a camera thing, like up, like on the roof. I guess they want to kind of see like where they're coming in and out of. I don't know. But it's all like very secretive. It's weird. Like they're not really keeping us in a loop as like what they're doing. Maybe because it's against the law for them to be doing anything. I don't know. But he says that apparently August 1st is when they could really like go up there and they're gonna make sure that they get out and don't come back in or something. And then they have to have like a biohazard team come and clean up there and the whole thing. But that's the bat story. So just, you know, if I guess for people who just search for this video. They're probably searching, you know, bat bugs. There's not a lot of things about bat bugs at all. There's all kind of things about bed bugs, but really nothing about bat bugs. So if you, it's all about, they look exactly the same, but it's really all about, and this is just, you know, in our experience and from me doing super just Google research and joining bed bug groups and all this other kind of stuff, it's really about the behavior. So if you're finding those bugs like in weird spots that are like not your couch and not your bed, because bed bugs are going to try to bite you. So they're going to be in your chairs, in your couches, you know, places like that. Bat bugs are going to be more near, you know, your attic, windows, you know, things like of that nature. So it's different. You know, the behavior is different, so you could kind of see the behavior. If you zoom in with a microscope, you could you can Google like differences between bed and bat bugs, but you know, nobody has time for all that. So it's usually about the behavior. But if you do think that it is a bat bug, definitely get, you know, if you own the house, call some wildlife people over there, or, you know, if you rent, let your landlord know, because it went that quick to the first guy going up there saying like, oh no, we don't see any, to apparently being the worst infestation that this guy has seen, which I didn't want to hear that, but that's what he said. So we shall see. I'll do a follow-up video just to kind of let you guys know what all happens. So apparently after they go up, then they have to call cleaning people, and then they're gonna have to do something outside to make sure they don't get back in. I don't know, maybe we'll be gone by then. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely been an experience, you know. But going back to what I have learned about bed bugs is, just by like listening to people's stories and things, is it's very easy for you to pick them up. It doesn't have to be from a dirty hotel. It could be from a very fancy hotel. You can pick them up at the airport. People have just by visitors coming over to visit you, they can bring them in. And let me tell you, when they come in, just from what I have read, they are hard to get rid of. So real quick, when we thought they were bed bugs, what we did is we got the Diamiceus, I can never say that right, earth. It's just like a non-toxic white type of powder. You do have to put a mask on, and from what I heard, it does work good for bed bugs as well. So that's why I did it. And actually, if you go into like our bathrooms now, I still keep it like on the baseboards and things, because apparently it does kill bat bugs. It'll kill ants, you know, different things like that. But that's safe to like put around your baseboards and things like that. And then just from stories that I have read, it does help with, you know, both bat and bed bugs. But yeah, so that is the story. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find a picture online of that ugly bat, and I'm gonna insert it so that you can see what kind of bats are right up there. But that is my story, guys. And if you are new here, I don't usually only talk about bats, but I talk about other things as well. So feel free to leave a comment and subscribe if you would like. And to all my other subscribers that are here for, you know, thrift shop hauls and things like that, thank you for watching the video until the end. I hope maybe you learned something, and you have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Bye.